my ass cheeks are tightening up again. I can't believe this movie get made. There's no discharge from my ass.
Alright, troops, how's it going? Welcome to my review of 28 years later as I sup on my Nessie's Nectar flavour of Iron Brew. Wonder if that would survive the apocalypse. Pure, some daft bastard in Glasgow's like, right, the world's ended, I still need my fucking Iron Brew, but right, off to the plant. Right, so there'll be spoilers in this review. Heavy spoilers, heavy spoilers, 20 ton spoilers, spoilers that could flatten a car.
Spoilers! Okay, so...
No pissing about, no fanning about, no greeting. You remember me? I told you. So while I'm talking about this film, you will see some footage of Left 4 Dead. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful old looking game. It's old looking, by the way, innit? Fucking hell, it's old. But it's good, so... Right, so this is the third in the line of the 28 Days Later movie franchise. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, no 28 months later, which is a bit of a disappointment, but I don't really see what else they could have done. I think after 28 weeks later, they probably wanted to, leave that taste of sour pish, leave their mouths. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but a lot of folk hated it. Comparing it to the first one, it's dross. I'm sorry. It's fun, but it's dross. The writing is pish. On with the show, you absolute daubing arse. So, it stars a few good actors, a newcomer as well. You've got Jodie Comer, you've got Aaron Taylor-Johnson, you've got Ray Fiennes and Alfie Williams, right? So that's... Alfie Williams is new, I've never seen him in anything before this, but he's really good in this film. In fact, the whole cast are good, save one or two minor characters where I'm like, not so sure about that, but we'll get into that later on, okay? It's early doors, come on now. So, the... in a place called Lindisfarne, which used to be like where the monks made all the monk stuff. They did all the monking, and then the Vikings came and scalped them all, stole all their booze, and burnt the place to the ground. How lovely! But they're using this as a refuge. And there's like a quarantine zone around the entirety of the UK. Not Ireland, though Ireland's okay, it survived somehow. I don't know how it managed that. But it did, so we'll just leave it at that, right? So the main part of the movie is set around Jamie and Spike. And they go out into the mainland so that Spike can get his first kill because he's 12 years old, but there's a bit of heaving, bit of hoeing, bit of confrontation because, there's a wee bit young at 12, he's a wee bit young to be going out there. Usually about 16, you're like, just shut up and let us out, right? And they're like, you'll not be getting rescued. I would know that. I don't see a fucking rescue chopper sitting around here, so obviously, yeah, fart. So they go out at the mainland, and this is where you get to see just what's become of the UK, but mostly woodland at the start, so you don't really see much. But it looks good. Very, very, very Last of Us feel to this, just not because it's like a duo, but just the whole feel of everything being overgrown. Hundreds of years, nearly 30 years after the outbreak. That's also The Girl with All the Gifts, and if you haven't seen that, go give that a watch because it's great. And they show you different infected types, right? So you've got the Slolos, you've got the fat ones that just sort of go about in their belly eating worms, the Boogie 2988s of zombies. Infected. They're not zombies, for they are not dead. But these things, they're like, how in the fuck would these be dangerous? Was because they're quite quiet. They can sneak up on you like a nobody's business. Okay, it's like, and they've got wains. All the infected could have children as well. They're all shagging. You don't see that, thankfully, but Jesus fucking Christ, you're like, what an image to have in one's brain! And you'll get your normal fast infected, and then they introduce you to the Alpha, the big muscle-bound zombie tank. Like any video game infected, there's different types, so you've got this and this now, but that's really nothing new. You get the thinking zombie, you've had that since Day of the Dead in 1985. Zombies having babies, Dawn of the Dead 2004. had a zombie baby. It's weird, but they need a reason for them to keep going. They need a reason for them to still have infected on the mainland. Otherwise, there'd be no movie to watch. Oh, anyway, right, I like the feel, a post-apocalyptic feel of this movie, mixed with Lord of the Rings. It's kind of like what you've got. The way some of the angles are shot and the way you see some of the infected come over hills. It's good, man. It's tense, and you're hitting them with bows and arrow because they don't have guns. We don't have guns in this country anyway, but 30 years later, all the guns that are probably lying about are probably very rusty and fucked, shall we say. Fucked! And there are plenty of infected encounters in this film. I heard people go, there are not enough affected encounters. I don't know if people are just wanting an action movie. Like 28 Weeks Later, that was more of an action movie. There was lots of infected encounters in that. It wasn't so much in the first movie, they were more calculated and they picked their moments better, I think. So I don't know what people are really expecting from this. It's not an out-and-out action movie, it's a horror infected / zombie film, if you like. I put it in the zombie category because pretty much are, right? So, plenty of infected action. It's good. It's gory as fuck as well. It's gory. Like, see, he's getting ripped out and spinal cord still attached, which is pretty good. When it comes to that, I have no major complaints. Actually, with the amount of cocks on screen, you really could have called this 28 Willies later. 28 inches later, I've also heard this. And the main culprit of that is Big Samson. He is an alpha infected, and he's got his cock out. Because, well, why wouldn't you? Let it all hang free, let the undercarriage bob and bounce. Sometimes you get quite the the Eiffel Tower. Jesus. I hate myself for that shite. And I liked Ray Fiennes' character. They didn't turn him into this fucking cliched, I'm really super bad weirdo guy. So that was quite nice. I actually liked that. And you get to see the old Tower of Skulls that are in a lot of the advertising. That's the Bone Temple. About I'll talk briefly about the ending. People didn't like the ending because it was like tonally different, and fair enough. There's a bit of heavy metal, or whatever it sounds like, sort of grungy, heavy, fucking distorted music sounds, and these bunch of people in shell suits with blonde wigs. At least I think they're blonde wigs. They might not be. Start kicking the zombies' arse, and people are like, is that Jimmy Savile? They do kind of look like Jimmy Savile, and so does the main guy, who's called Jimmy, who's the wee boy you see in the intro. Intro's good as well. It reminded me of 28 Weeks Later. I thought 28 Weeks Later actually did that bit a bit better, but it was still good, and I hope we get to see more of it in the sequel, which is out January 2026. It's in about seven odd months, so that's exciting. I'm excited, and I'm extremely excited because fucking loved this movie. This movie's great, by the way. Nae ifs, nae buts, brillianto. If you're a fan of the 28 Days Later franchise, if you're a fan of a post-apocalyptic sort of tense horror with a bit of action, zombie movies, go see it. It's good. It's a good time. Couple of hours. Actually, do you know what? I think it could have been doing a bit longer, but I suspect that this one and The Bone Temple were meant to be the same movie. But it was too long, and they split it in half. Just a hunch, just a feeling. And apparently Cillian Murphy's in this next one, which is interesting because his name is also Jim. So you've got Jimmy and Jim. The two Jim Joms. And Jimmy's quite a common name in Scotland. If you're named James, you're going to be called Jim or Jimmy. Alright? Some folk will call you James, but Jimmy is quite a common abbreviation of that title. So, as much as you look like Jimmy Savile, probably isn't he? You know? Or maybe it is. I don't actually give a fuck. It was weird and it was interesting. Anyway, waffled on enough pish. Adios.